Steve Perry was on Good Morning America revealing some more things about his life and Kelly. We'll talk about that coming right up.
And now it's time for Steve Perry News with Gary Stuckey. All Steve Perry News.
Hello, everybody. It's Gary Stuckey. Welcome back to another episode of Steve Perry News. And Steve Perry this morning was in New York on Good Morning America with Robin Roberts, sitting down for a little chat. It didn't last too long, but it was a very interesting conversation. Things we've heard before, and then also Steve was talking about Kelly and the fact that she appears on a song that Steve is releasing on his new album Traces over on the bonus section. There's 5 bonus songs on there on the deluxe album, and one of those songs is called Call on Me. And when I got the CD, when I downloaded the songs, you could hear on that song, you could hear somebody laughing in the background. And immediately I thought, that sounds like it could be Kelly. You would assume that when you heard it. And sure enough, Steve confirmed it today that that was Kelly, And I think that's a very special thing for Steve. And probably very emotional to hear. And I think he's composing himself very well considering all the things he's been through. When Kelly is mentioned or he talks about her, he seems somewhat composed, I'm sure he has breakdowns and moments like that, but talking about her. But to have her on a song, I think that's very special. And Robin Roberts herself, as she was interviewing him, she's very intrigued by Steve Perry and his situations. But she had breast cancer. She's an overcomer, and she was featured in a song. Remember, Mandisa, a song, Overcomer. But she's been through a lot. She's had diseases and cancer, breast cancer. And of course, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I know that's a big deal. That's probably a lot of the reason why Steve is there with her at this time. Also, on the album, another bonus song on the album is October in New York. And I'm sure it has to do with Kelly, as the whole album Traces is about Kelly, and he dedicated it to Kelly. The song, though, October in New York, though, it's got this Frank Sinatra sound. And obviously it's about Kelly, and about him missing her and spending time in New York in October, which he has done this whole week, spending time in New York. And I think it's very sentimental to him. That's what he's doing right now, is reminiscing and healing, going through, these situations and memories that he's thought about, and like getting on a ferry or going to the Statue of Liberty and seeing all those places that he and Kelly spent time in October, right before Kelly, went her health went spiraling downhill. Sad to say. Right before that, she had been getting better, taking different treatments, and so I'm sure during that time they had one final time to, enjoy their moments together, and especially in October in New York was the final time before they went back to California and moved there for the last, time that Kelly got to spend with Steve. And possibly whenever Kelly made that promise, made Steve make the promise, to not go back into seclusion. It might have been in October. That might be why Steve released his album on October 5th. It might have something to do with that date, which makes a lot of sense, because it was special. It was a promise that he made, And Steve is good on promises, and Steve is going to do what he wants to do. I speculate and you speculate. Some say never on this, never on that. But one thing is for sure, Steve made a promise, is he's going to keep it. And he's going to do what he wants to do, and that's put out some good music. And he's not going to go back into seclusion. And he also had a choice to make when he met Kelly, and he knew that she was terminal. You know, good chance that she wasn't going to be around long, but he still made that. You know, he said his heart said, "Hey, go for it." You know, even though your mind says no, his heart said, "Hey, go for it." But he had to face that face that chance of, you know, losing her, a big chance with somebody with cancer. You know, and it's like that song by Garth Brooks, "The Dance." You know, if you could miss the pain, but you'd have to miss the dance. He could have missed Kelly. He could have said, "Nope, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to deal with any more hurt." But he knew that. He knew that there was a good chance she wasn't going to make it, and he still decided to be with somebody that cared for him and cared for her. He made that choice, and that's a pretty touching thing. And this album reflects that. So, and I still think it should be made into a movie, maybe a book too. You know, it's a very awesome story about love and just coming back to life. You know, coming back to the music. It's a good story. Um, so, like I said, this album is reflective of that. And great songs on the album. It's just not, you know, it's not just a album. You know, Steve comes back and throws together some songs. These are great songs. They're not as upbeat, like I said before, as some people would like. But Steve's got a future wide open. He's got a lot of songs already that he's working on. So, you know, the future's wide open. And so is his heart, as Steve has been saying. You know, I think Steve, as he heals and time goes by, he's open for a lot of opportunities, and we'll be seeing a lot more from Steve Perry. So, hey, don't fret. But anyway, this is Gary Stuckey. I'll be back with some more stuff for you. Don't stop believing, everybody. God bless you.